Hello again, Sandicator here with Team EXT, and today we're going to be going over my undefeated first place in teams Broly HoM Mastery deck profile for the card market series in Frankfurt for the teams event. I don't know if I said that. I'm a bit tired. The weekend was a bit long. Yeah, this was the last event where 4 Shigesh could be run. This was the last event where we could run Bad Ring. This is the last event where we could run Cold Bloodlust at more than one. So this was very nice for me to be able to go undefeated with it, considering this deck has put in a lot of work for myself. Going undefeated in teams at UKG, it got me undefeated in Swiss and top 8 at the LPG 5-star. So yeah, it felt good. I was able to do one last very good turnout with the deck, and I got this as well for coming in first at teams. I don't know if second and third got it as well, but I was very pleased that I happened to get a large leader with this deck of Broly. So yeah, I was very pleased with that. I'm going to try and make this deck profile a bit quicker because this profile is very similar to my undefeated UKG deck. There's very few changes. There will be a deck list in the description just so you can read over the cards in case you haven't seen one of our videos before, or this deck before, in case you're new, because I will be just skimming over these cards quite quickly. So let's get into it. This is a Broly HoM Mastery deck, so we run 3 Path to Greatness Son Goku, the first part of the Victory Strike chain, 4 Height of Mastery Son Gokus, and then we run 1 Victory Strike Son Goku the Awakened Power as our main win condition. We run 4 Height because that is the part of the win condition, so I want to see it. I only run 3 Path to Greatness because I have 2 cards that can tutor it. Successor of Hope is a free tutor. I run that at 4, so I essentially run 7 Path to Greatnesses if I need it. I also run 2 Planet Vegeta, which I'm mainly using to search Shigesh, but in desperate times I will search the Path to Greatness, so that's why I run it at 3. This was a teams event, so I ran 4 Unwavering Solidarity to Shigesh. I'm actually going to miss this card because in teams, you're not going to have that auto-include yellow Broly deck anymore, and Shigesh is just nuts. When your life is at 4 less, play a Say, and that costs 3 or less for free when you combo with it. We run the Roshi and Shen and Play-by-Play Pro draw engine so that our hand can get to ridiculous sizes. They do act as deadly defenders to a point because your opponent will probably focus on them. And they can attack little 5Ks if you've rested it if necessary, so you can try and remove pieces on the board if you don't have both Roshi and Shen. Yeah, I mean, my hand was just huge. I didn't need to run the swap engine because I had a 33% chance of seeing Cronoa, so I didn't exactly need to hard cast Path. I could play for free, so I had a bunch of energy in the early game to draw as much cards as possible. And even if I did see Cronoa, I'd be able to hard cast Path on turn 3 if I'm not playing against something super aggressive, and even if I was, it wasn't that big of a deal because I probably wouldn't need Victory Strike for that kind of a matchup. And then, where was it going? And then, against control decks, I've been hit with Cronoa. If for some reason I can't put Path to Greatness down on turn 3, I could put it down on turn 5, Awaken, have 4 energy, swap, take a life, and then evolve into Victory Strike with the leader ability to take a life and restand the card. So I would restand an energy and evolve into Victory Strike. Then we'll go into the obvious cards in the deck. We've got 3 Time Magics as our negates. Don't need more than 3 unless you're up against veggies. Shigesh and Path to Greatness is an excellent control combo because Path to Greatness rests a card. So the first card your opponent swings with, you out combo it with Shigesh. You play the Path to Greatness and then you rest their next attacking card. So you've essentially stopped 2 attacks. So we don't need that many negates in the deck. We run 4 Cold Bloodlust because Cold Bloodlust is my favorite card. I'm very sad to see it go to 1, but it is necessary. It's a 1 mana, just whatever your opponent wants to do with an end of the battlefield effect, stop it. Or if they've got like a double strike, dual attack, or dual attack, triple strike, doesn't matter. You can just stop it if you need to. 3 bad ring lasers. Self-explanatory. Stop their negates. Very useful. Oh, you can stop Mutato as well. Very useful. So yeah, I wanted to see it. That's why I ran it at 3. Don't run it at 4. You could run it at 2, but I mean, it's being banned. I don't even know why I'm talking about ratios. Then the rest is really just tech pieces. So we've got 1 Vegeta striving to be the best in case I see a deadly defender. I did see a deadly defender in round 1, but the Vegeta striving to be the best, it was the last card of my life. So I ended up managing to lose that game, but I won the round overall. Got a second one in the sideboard for situations like that. 3 Prodigal Dynasty Son Gotens. Those are to protect your Roshis and Shens. 2 Ultimate Potential Super Saiyan 2 Gohans. This is your explosive. This is your Shigesh into explosive Goku, but Goku you have to pay mana to search for it with Planet Vegeta, or you have to draw into it. With Gohan, it was just a free search, and if anything, I could be aggressive with it since it's a 15k, so I could apply pressure to the leader. 2 Dark Power Black Mass Saiyans. This is teams. I needed some level of 1-drop Self-Awakener, but this was the choice because there are decks like Veggies running around, and this really hurts Veggies. And then you got Pan. This hurts Pan. I managed to get like 2 on board against both my Pan matchups, so it just really hurt. They couldn't do the plays that they really wanted to do until they got removed. We run a 3rd one in the side for that exact reason. It's also very useful against Purunga Victory Strike, which was my hardest matchup of the day. You need to get, if you're on the play, you need to get yourself from 5 to 4 just so you can have the chance of using Shigesh. Game 1 I was able to, but game 2 and 3 it was just turn 1 Cronoa, so I had to play a bit differently. And you want to be able to awaken before they, you want to be able to awaken on the turn they hit Height of Mastery because they'll tap you out. So you want the extra energy to try and out combo it. I run 3-dimensional Banisher Foos. This is just for the starter Broly matchup. I didn't see it, so it was used to apply pressure. It's a 1-cost double strike 20k, which could be restood with an awakened leader. It just gets there. It helps finish the games earlier, and you can remove something on the board that you don't want to deal with. I think we've gone over all the main board there. Sideboard, 2 Further Indestruction Champa. This is just for the aggro matchups like Veggies. You're going to side out all of your Height of Mastery engine because you will not get to that turn, and you want to be able to you want to be able to kill your opponent. So Champa is the best way. Get them to 2. Swing with Leader or swing with Path and just combo in Champa, and then you've probably got game. 3 Flying Nimbus for the more aggressive matchups, the more degenerate matchups. So it came in against Veggies. Very useful. 2 Mutato Skill of a Sage, just for Height of Mastery, because Height of Mastery and Shinjita were very prevalent teams decks. So that was put in the side. An extra Vegeta striving to be the best for the deadly defenders like Janemba. A 4th Son Goku Path to Greatness. This is for the games where you want to go super aggressive or pan so that you have a higher consistency of drawing into it after the Zeno if they've minus Killy zoned and you don't have a Cold Bloodless to stop the Zeno. We have 1 Source of Power Son Goku. This was a last minute inclusion because I had 1 extra card on the sideboard. At the end of the day, it was just cute. Like, I never sided it in because against Veggies, they're taking my life so quickly that even if I do want to Shigesh it in, I don't have enough life to take for it to be super effective. And against like Purunga Victory Strike and Shinjita, like hard casting it for 3 if they have the Cronoa, it's just not worth it. And then like 3 energy just to awaken is also not that good if they pick the Cronoa. So yeah, it just didn't get much use out of it. The 1 Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan, as explained. 2 Trunks Power Missing Time. This is for Janemba. So once you've got Chunks Power Receiving Time in hand, it's actually easier for Janemba to mill your Victory Strike, because that way you at least guaranteed of getting it, because you can turn 4, swap into Height of Mastery, Awaken, Overwhelm in Trunks Power Receiving Time, grab back the Victory Strike, take a life, restand energy, and then evolve Victory Strike on top of Height of Mastery. And then Trunks is also nuts for the aggro matchups. In veggies, I would use it. So like my turn 3 could be like Swing Leader, Shigesh, Path to Greatness, Swing with Path to Greatness, Shigesh, Path to Greatness, play Trunks Power, Receiving Time, grab back Shigesh, successor for another Path to Greatness, swing with Trunks Power over time, Shigesh, Path to Greatness, leader effect to take a life, restand Trunks, and then swing for a double strike again. So your turn 3s can be pretty insane with this card. It's like, that was one of my favorite things to do, was when I got to play against veggies. I got to be able to do, I did that exact turn, and it just felt insane. Like, me and Max, my teammate, we were just amazed at what the deck could actually do when you're not hit with Cronoa and you need to be aggressive. So yeah, that was very good card, auto include in the deck. And then finally, 2 Mirror Creator Absorbed. This was for the aggro matchups. It ended up not coming in because I preferred having the 1 energy double strike with the Fu as compared to like a Mira with, which is a 2 energy double strike, even though it's a lot and a lot of power. Like, even though it's like a lot of it gains a lot of power from the warp. It just didn't feel necessary, so I don't think I ever sided it in. I might have sided in one against Casper, who was playing veggies, but yeah, it didn't feel as useful this tournament as it did in the last one. Yeah, that's the deck profile. I know a lot of people don't like height, but as I said previously, it put in a lot of work for me, and I am going to miss this deck a lot because the things you can do with it, especially in teams, is just absolutely insane, and it was so much fun to play, and everything the deck did just felt ridiculous. Like, oh, I've got 20 cards in hand, this is insane. I can Shigesh, Path Greatness, Shigesh, Path Greatness, Shigesh, Explosive Gohan, or Ultimate Potential Gohan, or whatever. And like, when you would get 2 pairs of Roshi and Shens on board and you'd have to be able to draw 4 cards a turn, you just felt like you were never going to lose. So yeah, I think the ban list has really hit this deck. The ban list really hits all the Wish, Height of Mastery, and Victory Strike decks. So yeah, it's good for the game though. Like I just said, I just felt like I was never going to lose. I'm excited to see if any form of Victory Strike deck is viable going forward, but I really don't think so. So it's been a good run, and I've loved the deck, but it's time to put it down and try to find the next best teams deck. I think teams going forward will be very interesting. There will probably only, I think the only deck that will be auto include will be Pan or some form of Chain Zeno deck, and then the rest you can sort of play around with. If black is a strong color, you can do black, and then you can play blue, yellow veggies, U6, which I've been testing, and that's a very fun deck. Feels very insane. So I'm looking forward to teams events going forward, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and see you on the next one.